The David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA receives thousands of applications each year as students compete for approximately 160 spots into the MD program. If you're lucky enough to receive a supplemental application request letter, then you have just 15 days to complete your secondary application and send it back for review. This is typically a pretty tight timeline, especially as the UCLA secondary application has 10 different prompts that students must respond to. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the UCLA secondary application, and I'll also provide you with some sample essays for each of the 10 different secondary prompts. Before we get started, hi, I'm Nadine Evans with BeMo Academic Consulting. Make sure you subscribe on whatever social media channel you're watching this from now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you'd like us to help you get into medical school, click on the link either above or below this video to schedule your free initial consultation. Secondary application requests are normally sent by medical schools between August to October to further assess a candidate's suitability for the profession. Within the request, there will be questions or prompts designed to help the admissions committee learn more about your passions, your interests, and your experiences. Applicants have to respond to these prompts while adhering to strict character or word counts. UCLA secondary prompts require responses between 300 and 800 characters. Some schools send out secondary applications to all students that apply, while others use primary applications to screen and select who they want to send secondaries to. UCLA accepts applicants on a rolling admission schedule. So once an applicant has received the secondary application request letter, applicants are given a maximum of 15 days to submit their application, or it's due by UCLA's mid-October deadline, whichever is earlier. Because of this, it's recommended that applicants submit their primary application to AMCAS early, well before the UCLA AMCAS application deadline. So this is UCLA's typical timeline. The start of October is the AMCAS application deadline. Mid-October is the supplemental application deadline. Between July and November, UCLA is screening their applications. Between July to November, they're sending invitations for interviews. August to November is their interview season, and mid-October is when they send out their offers of admission. Each school has its own list of medical school secondary essays comprised of between 1 to 10 prompts on average. The UCLA Medical School Admissions Committee provides 10 different prompts, probing students to explore their interests, their volunteer experience, significant achievements, and any hardships. Use the examples I'm going to give you as a guideline to help you create your own unique responses. Let's go through each of these prompts and I'll give you some examples. The first prompt says, describe your involvement in the one most important non-academic activity in your life, and you have 800 characters to do so. Here's a sample response. In high school, I developed a hobby that quickly turned into a daily habit, exercising. Exercise has had a formidable impact on many areas of my life. Regular exercise creates discipline and amplifies my work ethic. When I was insecure, working out increased my confidence. Exercise gave me a sense of control by displaying the direct correlation between my hard work and the results that are attained. This revelation was first noticed through this habit, but it swiftly carried over to many other areas of my life as well. I strongly believe that this habit played a major role in my character development, and I would not be the same person I am today if I never began exercising. Number 2. What has been the one most unique leadership, entrepreneurial, or creative activity in which you participated? You have 800 characters. Here's a sample answer. While volunteering at the Arts Academy, a society serving those with disabilities, I noticed the boys participated in activities not otherwise available to girls. Many girls had issues making friends, while the boys seemed comfortable with each other. To improve the girls' situation, I started the first girls' basketball team. Many families were against the girls' participation as they believed sports were for boys. By explaining the mental and physical health benefits of participating, I successfully convinced half of the families. The girls became more confident and self-sufficient. I felt accomplished, not just because I taught them basketball, but because they'd become friends. This experience taught me compassion, commitment, and how to work with people from different backgrounds. Number 3. What has been the one most important volunteer work you have done, and why was it meaningful? 800 characters. Here's a sample response. My experience volunteering as an EMT has been instrumental in understanding the significance of serving the community. One night, my team was dispatched to an accident at a busy intersection. The fireman on scene explained that one of the drivers was barricaded and could not move his leg. While the police officers directed traffic, a fireman retrieved the Jaws of Life tool to pry the door on the barricaded car open. At the same time, I helped the paramedics slide the trauma board into the car from the passenger side. The ease with which each team member at the scene fulfilled a role contributing to the well-being of the patient was inspiring. I finally understood what it meant to be part of the medical team. Number 4. Has there been or will there be a gap between achieving your last degree, bachelorette or other degrees post-bachelorette, and the expected time of medical school matriculation? 300 characters to explain if yes. Here's a sample response. I first applied to UCLA in the 2017 application cycle. Unfortunately, shortly after, my family and I were informed that my father needed a liver transplant that summer to treat his cirrhosis. I respectfully withdrew my application as I decided it was best to take the next year to be with my family. Number 5. What is the one most important honor you have received? Why do you view this as important? 300 characters. The student answered this way. My junior year of high school, I received the St. Francis Award. The award is meaningful because it is presented to one student from each class voted by the students and faculty for displaying strong moral character, desire to serve the community, and proper use of God-given gifts. Number 6. What has been your most scholarly project, thesis, research, or field of study in basic or clinical science or in the humanities? Describe one and give number of hours, dates, and advisor. 300 characters. I gave a presentation on creating personalized medicine using patients' microbiomes for the 2019 summer microbiology course I took. This gave me an appreciation of using science to solve real-world problems. The presentation took 15 hours to create, and the professor of the lab was Dr. Kate Knightley. Number 7. Describe a problem in your life. Include how you dealt with it and how it influenced your growth. You have 500 characters for this one. This is the student's response. I was a nomad, living in China, Japan, Malaysia, and America, changing elementary schools 5 times. When I moved to Japan, I was bullied because I did not speak Japanese. Once I conformed culturally and linguistically, the bullying ceased. I realized that societies need to be more welcoming to different backgrounds. I learned to accept my past in order to improve the future, vowing to help outsiders and encourage values that enhance cultural diversity. Okay, we're on prompt number 8. Section to enter major work experiences with 4,000 characters to explain each experience. Here's the sample response. During the spring semester of the school year and into the beginning of summer for every year during college, I worked as a Senate aide in the state capitol, averaging about 15 to 20 hours of work per week. As a Senate aide, I helped Senator Bill in carrying out his duties more efficiently by assisting in research, administration, and communications. My primary research responsibilities involved exploring proposed legislation by attending committee hearings and obtaining copies of different testimonies and records. For example, this past legislative session, a bill was introduced to address medicinal marijuana for people with debilitating pain. The senator I worked for was against this legislation until I showed him a 2017 study that found that in states that legalized medical marijuana, the number of hospitalizations for abuse and addiction to painkillers fell by 23% from 1997 to 2014. This information provided the senator with additional material, allowing him to make a more informed decision of his stance on the matter, and his vote proved highly valuable to the passage of the bill in Arkansas. This experience taught me the effectiveness of seeking evidence to guide decisions. From this side of the table, seeing such a wide range of public issues, including those dealing with healthcare, motivated me to strive in taking an active role in the advocacy of patients and public health in the future. Number 9. Is there any hardships to which you would like the committee to give special attention in evaluating your application? If yes, please explain. Include any geographic, language, economic, academic, physical, or mental factors in 500 characters. The student answered this way. While studying for and taking the MCAT, I struggled with the critical analysis and reasoning skills section. Due to English being my second language, I had trouble with vocabulary and quickly comprehending the meanings of certain sentences. However, when there was less stress and pressure, I was able to correctly answer many more questions due to being able to read slower. Since the MCAT, I've been working on improving my reading comprehension skills by reading more complex literature. Number 10. Where do you see yourself post-graduate education? What experiences have led you to this goal? 500 characters. Here's a sample response. I want to practice medicine where I am most needed, which is why learning rural and inner city medicine is important to me. Ideally, I want to take what I learned from my experience after residency and apply my skills in an environment such as Doctors Without Borders. I want to practice medicine in an area that best reflects my original intention to study medicine, to serve and provide medical aid to those without access to proper hospital care. Okay, so I have 3 tips for you in writing successful UCLA secondary essays. Number 1 is to streamline your responses. The UCLA secondary essay prompts are quite challenging for students. At a first glance, you might look at the low character counts and be relieved that you won't be writing 10 different chapters. However, many of the prompts require a response between 300 to 500 characters, which equates to roughly 3 to 5 sentences. To convey maturity, passion, and lessons learned in only a few sentences is really difficult. Students must be able to craft a concise, direct response to the question while adhering strictly to this character count. To create a streamlined response, focus on the main takeaway point that you want to convey and structure your response around that. Number 2, demonstrate self-reflection. It isn't enough to simply state an experience that you've had when answering the UCLA secondary prompts. You need to be able to demonstrate your ability to self-reflect by conveying to the admissions committee what you learned, how an experience has helped your growth, and how it can benefit you as a physician. If you notice in the examples that I read to you, each entry includes a takeaway message, which not only shows reflection, but also demonstrates maturity and growth. And the 3rd tip that I have for you is to perfect your spelling and grammar. Your secondary essays have to be perfect because they're a direct reflection of who you are as a candidate. Mistakes indicate a lack of professionalism, a lack of interest, and therefore a lack of suitability for the profession. It's essential to proofread your essays multiple times to ensure that there are no spelling or grammatical errors. Alright, so that concludes another one of our videos. Hopefully you enjoyed it, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you have any questions that we can help you with. If you'd like us to help you get into medical school, click on the link either above or below this video to schedule your free initial consultation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.